I prepared this for Monday, October 19th, 2020. Our sages identify the underlying sin of Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve, which caused them to be expelled from Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden. It was not just that they had eaten from a tree that God had prohibited to them, but it was not taking responsibility for their mistake, and specifically for Adam, a lack of gratitude, when he blames Chava for his eating the fruit and not recognizing the great gift that he had been given by God. Developing a sense of gratitude to God and to everyone who helps us is the starting point of the Torah and is woven through the fabric of the entire Torah in narrative and in mitzvos. Clearly, a large part of prayer is an expression of gratitude. Also, a major complex structure of brachos, blessings, before and after eating. Blessings after eating are based on the famous verse in the book of Devarim, the Parsha of Akev, Ve'achalta v'savata uve'rakta Hashem Elokecha. You shall eat and be satisfied, and then bless Hashem your God. We discussed this at length during the summer. But there are also brachos to be recited before eating. And our sages tell us in the Talmud that that obligation does not even require a specific command. It's obvious and intuitive that we must express gratitude for whatever we are about to enjoy. A person who is careful to recite brachos before and after eating has the potential to develop and refine their sense of God's immanence, God's presence in our life, and also to refine their character of gratitude on an almost constant basis. A central feature of this structure is that there's a specific bracha to be recited for each type of food. Foods that grow from the ground have their blessing. Foods that grow on trees have another blessing. Bread has a special bracha all its own, as wine has a special bracha all its own. There are apps you can download that will tell you the correct bracha for each food. And by the way, as a general guideline, anytime you are unsure which bracha to recite for a specific food, you can always rely on the most general bracha. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, blessed are you God, sovereign of the universe, shehakol nihiyeh bidvaro. Everything was brought into existence through His word. But the structure of brachos is wider than just food. It includes sweet smells and wondrous sights and experiences. Every siddur, every prayer book, has a list of brachos for many different occasions, and it is a great practice to learn about them and to say them at every opportunity. I strongly suggest to you that if you do so, you will notice a transformation in your life. And there is one bracha that comes from our parsha, the parsha of Noach. After Noach and his family and everything in the ark survived the flood, God says to God says to Noach, V'hakimosi es brisi itchem. I will establish a covenant, a pact, a contract, an agreement with you. V'lo yikares kol basar od mimei hamabul, v'lo yiyeh od mabul l'shaches haaretz. I will never again bring a flood to destroy the entire world, as I did in this instance, God says to Noach. Vayomer Elokim, and God further says, Zos os habris, asher ani nosein, beini uvenechem. This is the sign of the agreement that I am making with you, the promise that I am making to you. Es kashti nasati ba'anan. My rainbow I will place in the clouds, in the sky. And that will be a sign of my promise between myself and the inhabitants of the world. And it will be when there is a rainbow in the sky, I, God says, I will remember the promise that I made between myself and all humanity. So, seeing a rainbow, which is so beautiful, has for us a double contradictory meaning. First, it has a negative meaning. It means that God was thinking about destroying the world, God forbid. But of course, it has the positive meaning that God restrained himself because of the promise that he made to Noach. And because of that, when we see a rainbow, it is an opportunity for us to make the following bracha. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, God, sovereign of the universe. Zocher habris. You remember the covenant that you made. V'ne'eman bibriso. And you are faithful to the covenant. V'kayim b'ma'amaro. And you fulfill your word. We remind ourselves, and we remind God, who does not need a reminder, but we remind God nonetheless of the promise God made to us. My friends, have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing all of you soon in person.